I, male 36, have recently become single, and girlfriend kicked me out of the house because the house belonged to her and she paid for it. I currently don't have a job, so couldn't pay for a deposit to rent a flat. I asked my sister, Janet, 32, if I could move in with her temporarily. She wasn't happy at first, but after our mom spoke to her, she agreed. The issue is she only gave me the couch and not a bedroom. She lives alone in a 3-bedroom flat. The issue is she converted 2 of her bedrooms into her offices because she runs a business from home. She had her computers in one room and stuff she's selling in another. Frankly, I think it's excessive, so I asked her to combine the rooms and allow me to have some privacy in my own bedroom. I even offered to move everything on my own so she wouldn't have to carry heavy things. She refused. I told her she's always been spoiled and didn't need 3 rooms for herself. She says it's her house and I can sleep on the couch or go to mum's, which she knows I won't do. I told her she's an idiot and a selfish idiot. I thought I could get to her and have been asking every day, but instead of finally agreeing, she threatened to kick me out of the house. My mum is on my side, but my dad and sister think I'm the idiot. I think she is because she doesn't have any compassion. I told my mates and they're kind of split, so I need a stranger's unbiased opinion before knowing how I'm going to proceed. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. She's already doing you the favour by letting you live in her house for free. You are a very temporary guest. The couch is a deliberate reminder of that. You are not supposed to be moving into your sister's place. You're just allowed to stay there until you find housing. You shouldn't be there long enough that the lack of privacy is a significant burden. Also, he had to call mommy to get her to force the sister to take him in. Wow. Guaranteed this cycle of no job, getting kicked out of his home and leeching off family and friends has been happening since his late teens, lol. Or he only just recently moved out from mommy's house and found out the real world is hard. I feel awful for the sister getting strong-armed into dealing with OP. He's calling the way she runs her business excessive, as if he knows what it takes to build something and be self-sufficient. I wonder how he got to be such a mooch if even the parents are sick of it. They must have realized the monster they created only after he hit adulthood. Exactly. OP, your ex was sick of your entitled crap and sent you packing. Your sister is sick of your entitled crap and wants to send you packing. Your mom doesn't want you to bring your entitled crap to her home and wants you to be your sister's problem. Your dad wants you to quit your entitled crap and stop being an idiot. All 4 relationships you're describing seem geared toward you being coddled and them no longer wanting to be involved in that. Unemployed, broke, technically homeless, and you think you get to dictate to your sister about how sister's rooms are set up in her home just because you got your mother to badger her into letting you stay? Grow up, choosy beggar. Learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. You're 36 for crying out loud. My goodness, you're too old for this kind of freeloading and entitlement. My 18 female brother John, 20, started dating his girlfriend Holly, 20, last year. For context, John and I come from a very religious family. John's the oldest of 9. We're all homeschooled and religion is very important, but we've never had many issues, John especially. But he met Holly a couple of months ago, and well, she gave my mom a heart attack. I'm not judging her at all, but she's had multiple boyfriends before my brother, posts on her social media quite a bit, and dresses in things that are inappropriate, maybe. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I wasn't very nice to her. But that's just because I wanted to be like her so badly. My mom was especially hard on her though. She said some crazy things about her dating history, about how she corrupted John, etc. My mom always had this kind image, so seeing her act like how she did gave me a wake-up call. John moved out to live with Holly and doesn't talk to our parents anymore. He's different. My mom's heartbroken. Dad is too, but he's ignoring the issue while my mom's stuck on how the vile creature stole her good and pure son. I think it's ridiculous, but I do feel for my mom a bit, so I've kept my mouth shut. But yesterday she saw Holly and John. According to my little sibling that was with my mom, they acted all cutesy and in love. My mom was enraged. She started ranting about how girls like Holly are the evilest kind and that while she's lost her son to her, at least her daughters are good girls. She then approached me and made me promise never to be like Holly. I was going to promise her at first, but I was just so tired of her nonsense. I said no. She looked a bit surprised, and I kind of lost it and said that Holly's cool and a much better person than most women I've met. Her body count or the way she dresses be damned. I saw my mom start to cry, but I couldn't help it. I told my mom that to me, Holly is a better person than she'll ever be, and also that I'd rather be just like Holly than like her. My mom cried even harder and said that I broke her heart just like John did, and also said she couldn't believe I was choosing Holly over her. She ran to her room and hasn't really come out since. My dad's upset with me and I feel terrible now. I should have just not said anything, but it felt good to tell her. Holly really is a good person and I miss John. I hate that my mom ruined things, but maybe it isn't fair for me to do what I did. Am I the idiot? Edit, I still remember when he first told me about Holly. He was so in love and seems like he still is, and I could reach out, but if I'm honest, I'm a little scared. Holly does intimidate me a bit, and John seems so different now. I'm allowed on the internet, all of us are the moment we turn 16. We still have a ton of rules, but with 9 kids, my parents don't really have the time to check my social media usage. Not the idiot, your mother is a damn Apache helicopter of helicopter parents. It definitely seems like your mom has made no attempt to get to know Holly and only wants to judge her. This behaviour will only drive more of her kids away and make them never want to talk to your mom again. It sounds like your mother has been trying to teach all about the hate in religion instead of love. I agree. If Holly makes your brother happy, your parents should support that. Not everyone in the world will share their judgmental opinions, and they have no right to try and impose them. You could reach out and apologise to Holly and start to repair your relationship with your brother. OP, as you're still young and, I'm guessing, a bit sheltered in a house of rules and beliefs, your brother stepped out and into the 21st century modern world, and it's his choice if he wants to join it. While the bursting out could have been handled better, I think it's great you don't stay oppressed in your thoughts, and your mom was shaming the poor girl. Good luck. It may be a rough road until you're a legal adult to choose what you want. I so wish they would outlaw homeschooling for this and many other reasons. These kids have been emotionally controlled with little outlet. Mom wants him to marry a plain Jane virgin who has never spoken to a boy before. At least the brother got away and hopefully will remain no contact with the crazy parents. Honey, just wanted to say that you didn't betray your mother by having a different opinion and voicing it. You are not your mother's extension or mouthpiece. Your mother chose to make derogatory statements and you stood up for Holly. Honestly, I'm proud of you for doing that. My 25 female fiancé, 25 male gets paid bi-weekly. Honestly, his paychecks are trash. Financially, I'm better off than him, and it truly doesn't bother me until it directly affects me. It could be argued that I'm greedy, honestly. I was used for money by everyone, friends, family, fiancé's family for years. So now I'm extra greedy with my money, and I honestly refuse to loan money to anyone anymore. I'm out thousands. But for the most part, helping my fiancé out truly doesn't bother me. I love him, he's a great guy, and his work is his passion, so I understand him not going elsewhere. I wish I loved my job as he does. So that's just a bit of backstory of why I did this today. So basically I give my fiancé money sometimes, play money or even bill money if he needs new clothes or shoes for work. I enjoy giving him the money for it because I like spoiling him. He gets nice things and I'm financially able to do this, and God does it make me feel good. I love it. But again, I don't want my money going to anyone else. Well, today, he was meeting up with his mom and grandmother, and afterwards, he was going out to buy a suit because he'd landed a big gig. So I sent him out with $400 and told him to get the suit he wanted, which was $340. It's important to note too that he does absolutely try to pay me back when I give him money, but to be blunt, he doesn't get enough money to pay me back. So I send him with the money and he leaves. He just called me and asked if I would lend him $160. I asked if he'd found a better suit that he liked more, and he informed me that he hadn't, but he no longer had the money for the suit because his mom and Gram wanted to go out to eat seafood and he treated them to the meal. I asked him why he would spend my money on them. I don't get along with either of them, and I'd already cut them off financially years ago. He said he felt like he had to as they kept manipulating him. We really want seafood, too bad we can't afford it. We haven't had seafood in so long. I wish someone would just give us seafood. Etc., etc. I told him no, that he would have to find a cheaper alternative. It's not my fault he used my money to provide them with a meal when it was supposed to be for his suit. My best friend, who's here, says I'm an idiot because she knows what it's like being backed into a corner by family, and he probably didn't want to spend that money on them, but it's hard saying no when you're backed against a wall. Am I the idiot? You're not obligated to fund his mother and grandmother. Heck, you're not even obligated to fund him. You gave him the money for his suit, but he chose to spend it on something else. That's on him. It looks like he needs to go shopping for a spine more than he does a suit. You are not the idiot, but everyone else sounds like trash for making you their bank machine. Boyfriend sounds more like an idiot pushover than actually a bad person to me. He may also be trash though. To be honest, OP should re-evaluate the relationship. His family has used her in the past, and I feel they will continue to do so when she marries her fiancé. If she wants to marry him, she should keep separate finances and get a joint account that each individual adds to for bills. Where in the name of all that's holy and unholy does a seafood meal for 3 cost nearly $400? Sob story or not, he misused funds. Burning through that amount of money because his greedy mom and gram guilted him into splurging on a meal is not your fault. But darling, you're not an ATM and have no obligation to act like one for anyone else's benefit. You certainly don't need to finance his family. He needs to stand up to them. Just remember you are not an ATM. Generosity should be appreciated, not exploited. My mom refuses to believe me when I tell her I don't know something. When I still lived at home, she asked me personal questions about my brothers or friends. I tried to explain that I had no way of knowing what my brother, who was away at university, was doing for the weekend, or why my friend had coloured his hair. It didn't matter. The questions never stopped. So I've developed a method to deal with her. It has 4 stages. If she asks me something that I know or have the ability to Google, then I answer her question to the best of my ability. If she asks me a question that I have no possible way of knowing, I tell her clearly that I don't know. If she persists, I come up with a random but plausible answer. For example, when she asked me what my friend from high school, who is married to my brother's wife's sister, was doing with his old car when he bought his new car, I told her that he had traded it in. When she doesn't believe the plausible story, then I go nuts. So when she said that she'd spoken to my sister-in-law and he wasn't trading it in, then I come up with a random story. The car was stolen, and when the cops found it, the entire trunk was packed with coolers full of dead squirrels and elk meat. So they are keeping it as evidence, and that's why he's getting a new Bronco. I don't know why, but she believes the weirdest crap I come up with and passes it on as facts. This has now bitten me in the butt. My brother said that when she was over there visiting, she asked him about the squirrels and elk meat, and that it made the visit weird. Everyone is mad at me for misleading my mom and for her embarrassing herself at my brother's house. I think she needs to learn that I don't know everything, and that she should just accept that as an answer. Wahaha, you're the legend. I'm wheezing from laughing. Yeah, not the idiot. Your mom needs to learn that an honest, I don't know, is the best answer you can give. If the reality of it doesn't sink in after the squirrel fiasco, there's probably no hope. I would suggest going to the straight-up outlandish, though, or use conditionals. Maybe they're trading it in. You should ask him. When that's ignored, well, maybe they loaned it out to Harry. You know how the Blue Beetle is always breaking down? Yep, that's hilarious. Why is everyone mad? They should be eagerly awaiting the next installment of weird crap you told your mother that she actually believes. What you did didn't bite you in the butt. It's what your mom did, asking you questions you can't possibly know the answers to and refusing to accept I don't know as an answer, that bit her in the butt. Yeah, I don't know why some moms are this way. I heard a story a while back about a guy who got I don't know tattooed on his arm so he could just point at it when his mom asked him questions he couldn't answer. I was leaning towards everyone's the idiot here because lying is bad, but it seems like you've tried to be reasonable with her, and this seems like a fun way to cope with the situation. However, watch her carefully because any scammer could scam her easily. Well, I would point out, your mum is probably not asking because the answer is important, she's probably asking because she wants you to converse with her. Some people struggle to connect with their grown kids and are just trying to find something to discuss. Good luck. So, I got a job at a private high school. The school gives free admission to the children of faculty and staff and their lower grade schools. These schools are way better than the public schools in my area, and I want to send my son to the private elementary school. Unfortunately, my son's mother was not really on board with this. She thought it would make things difficult since she also has a daughter starting school next year. Our child custody agreement has a part where we cannot change our son's education without both agreeing, so my son couldn't go unless her mother said yes. Since her main issue was her daughter being unable to attend next year, I told my ex about the school's policy that siblings of current students have priority on the admission list. So with our son enrolled, she will also be able to enroll her daughter. My son's mother was happy with the idea after that and agreed. The school has really early deadlines for things, so my son's mother was trying to enroll her daughter for the next school year. That's when she found out that while her daughter would get priority admission, she would have to pay tuition. The school does offer scholarships, but they're more for exceptional or diverse students, so her daughter is way down on the list. My son's mother is now very upset by this and thinks I tricked her, even though it was apparent her kid wouldn't get in for free since she's not my kid. Still, she is insisting it's going to create problems down the line. For example, she thinks it will cause animosity between her daughter and our son as he will have more opportunities. She also said it would be hard to deal with the kids being in different schools because they are far apart, about a 15 or 20 minute drive difference. She wants to return our son to public school, but she can't unless I agree. I still don't see the point. She hasn't made a convincing argument. On my side, the school is way better than his old school and he's happy and settled and has friends at his new school. On her side, her daughter may get a little jealous and she may have to drive a little more on the days she has our son. Edit. I have since told my ex that I can drive our son to and from school every day if it makes things easier. Not the idiot. Anyone with half a brain should have followed up with, what help might there be to pay for her tuition? And the fact that your ex failed to do so is on her. OP, you're doing what every parent should do and trying to give your son the most opportunities possible. When I was in grade school, I had an opportunity to go to a very good private school on a scholarship. My mother wouldn't let me go because she couldn't afford to send my sister. Instead, I got a poor education in schools where I was bullied and mistreated by the staff, and I lost the chance at a good education and the opportunities it would have provided. I'm still salty about it almost 40 years later. Please, don't punish your son out of some twisted idea of equality. I don't think you're the idiot for wanting to send your son to a good school, but I do think you are the idiot for intentionally wording your conversation with your son's mother to mislead her about the opportunity for her daughter. I believe that you intentionally did this so it would fall in your favor. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever that you would talk to her about the opportunity for her daughter while not mentioning the tuition costs to ensure she could cover it unless you intentionally withhold that information from her so she would agree to your terms. I think that was shady. You know what you did. And ultimately, I do think this will negatively impact your son's relationship with his sister, possibly even his mother.